Well, hello, good morning. Today I'm going to be trying to build a lazy bee. I got these plans off AeroFred. They're free. You can download them or print them out. They try to get you to pay, but you don't have to pay. Just keep bypassing where it says you have to. So I blew mine up about 7 times. Getting ready to cut out the one fuselage side. So we're going to see how it goes. That's my project this week. Well, they're not the prettiest cutouts, but I think we got a pretty decent start. If you look. It's close. Mine's 30 inches. Entire length of the foam board sheet. And I got 2 half fuselages out of 3/4 of a sheet that I started with. And I have this left over that I'm gonna make the bottom piece out of. Alright, I got my bottom piece cut out. I got 2-inch width in the front, widens out to 3 inches, and then tapers all the way down to 1 inch. So you'll want to cut the little grooves so you can curve around the fuselage here. And you'll also want to put a little cut in the fuselage there so that it will bend with the taper of the fuselage. Alright, now I'm going to glue it to the bottom on the inside. So I'll be putting a bead of glue along here and then setting it in there. Like so. Well, I think I achieved it, more or less. I shortened my nose up a little bit because of the electric motor. I want the prop to be able to clear, because the firewall is going to go here. So that way the prop's not hitting the front. But that's it. It's pretty big and lots of room inside, that's for sure. Alright, moving on. Well, I got my tail cut out and it's not quite circle enough. I need to go buy a compass so I can make it more of a circle. It's a little too square for it to be somewhat accurate. It actually turned out pretty decent for doing it freehand. But I'm going to go buy a compass so I can put the perfect circle on the outside of each side of the horizontal stabilizer. But heck, it almost looks like a lazy bee already, huh? Well, I haven't smoothed out the tail yet, but I've got it cut out, and I think we got a pretty decent little lazy bee going here. Can't decide how I want to do the rudder, if I'm going to make the whole fin move or slice it up here somewhere and hinge it here and slice it somewhere up here so that, you know, most of it moves. That's where I'm at now. But it's coming along. Whole lot of nothing inside of it still, though. Got the center section of the wing cut out. I got my notches in it so I can give the wing a little bit of bend. I got some ribs I cut out. The wing itself is a full 12 inches. And yes, I'm putting ailerons flaps on mine. But there's the rest of it sitting over there. I clear coated it yesterday so that none of the paper will bubble up when I paint. Alright, time to put the ribs on the wing and then get to the wingtips. I wanted to show you how I'm doing my wingtips. A lot of the other guys on YouTube just kind of stop their camera and poof, their wing's done. But I got my wing tips separate here. They're 8-inch tips. I already got the curve been in them and one rib on. And on your end rib from your wing, you're going to want to tilt it out just a wee bit. And then you glue. I glued a piece of foam board, just an extra strip that I had. And when you fit it up on here, it gives it the perfect gap and the perfect height for your wingtip, about 2 inches. So that one turned out really nice. We've got to clean it up a little bit, but the seam is actually pretty good when you consider it's foam board. So I'm going to get this wingtip on. I just wanted to show you how I get my dihedral without getting too crazy. It's pretty simple. I'll show you when it's finished. Well, here's what I'm working on. It's late Sunday evening, but sometimes you got to know when to stop so you don't mess something up for the day. Alright, well, I got my servos hanging there waiting for some hot glue. I'm going to tape them. I'm going to glue them there on the sides with my Z-bends and the control rods. That way there's no slop and no connectors to mess with. But I got the tail on nice and straight and painted, and we'll get those glued in and then start working on sheeting the top, finishing up the paint and the wing over there. Well, I got the paint job pretty much finished. The motor on. This one's gonna have the A2217-6T. 1500 kV. It's got a 9.6 prop now. I might go a little bigger. I got my axles in for my little tires. And just everything's sitting in there for now, except the servos. They're glued. And over here's the wing. I just clear coated the bottom half of the wing, that way it lasts longer. Stuff really seals the paper good and makes it real durable. Once that dries, then I can paint the wing and put the tires on it, and it'll be just about ready to go fly. Alright, well, here I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to come up with a little bit of a rounded nose. So I think I'm going to use this approach here, since I didn't cut my foam to make a round nose. You can see where I overcut right there. Oops. I was hoping the paint would cover it better, but that's alright. So I think I'm going to do this with the balsa wood and sand it nice and round, so at least it has a little bit of curve to it. Once I get this trimmed up and all glued together, sanded, and then I'll paint it, and then I'll stick it to the plane. But that's what I'm doing with the front end, I think. Instead of using foam, this is going to round off a little easier. Alright, well, it's all finished up, sanded, and I guess the question is now, do you glue it or do you screw it after it's painted? I think we'll probably screw it on so it's removable. So I'm going to clear coat it, seal the wood, and then paint it white. Well, I'm all finished with it. I was afraid the rubber bands wouldn't stretch that far, but they did. That's the Lazy Bee. Came out a lot lighter than I thought it would, so that's good. I got a 3-channel wing and a 4-channel wing. In other words, one has ailerons, one doesn't. This is the one that doesn't. It's a little bit fatter than the one that does. But that's it. It's all finished up and ready to go test fly it. And all I painted it with was the Rust-Oleum paint. And I sealed the foam with the Minwax sealer, which gives it a shinier coat. Those are 3-inch tires on there. Nice big ones. Well, hey, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for the test flight video.